Hey everybody, Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. And we're going to have another session of Off-Grid Homestead cooking with Troy. I'm going to have some noodles tonight, some butter noodles. I've got some stuff here. I got these on sale for like 79 cents or 59 cents. I think it was, I don't remember, it was really cheap. So, stove is hot. Better put some water in there before I go ahead and put that noodles in, just to make sure it doesn't get too hot in there. We're going to have some noodles tonight with butter and cheese and some seasonings and spices. And we're going to have some asparagus on the side. Got the noodles, put some water in to cover it. Cooking on the wood stove, tiny house wood stove. I like it. Alright, I'm going to add a pinch of salt in there. A little bit of salt in there. Precise measurements. Gotta have precise measurements, huh? Alright, we're going to let that cook. That's going to take some time. But you can hear it sizzling. I think you can hear that sizzle. We'll put a little tiny bit more water in there, just to make sure they're all covered. Precise measurements. There we go. Now we put the lid on. I'm going to let that cook. Cooking for free. Doesn't cost a thing because that wood stove is burning anyway. Alright, well, we'll come back in a little while later once the noodles are cooked, and we'll add some butter and some cheese and some spices. I think I'm going to add some spices in there in a minute. I got to check what I got and see what I want to add. So we'll be back in a few minutes. I'm cutting up a nice amount of cheese here, Swiss cheese. Now I like a lot of cheese and I want some cheesy noodles. So it's going to be cheesy buttery noodles. So probably making a little more than most people would, but I love my cheese. Actually, I like it so much. Alright, one more for me. I love cheese. My noodles just boiled over, and I think I may have overcooked them. I've got to check. I forgot, I'm working on videos at the same time. Yeah, I've overcooked my noodles. I do that a lot on the wood stove. Alright. I'm going to drain them out and we'll be back in a minute. Alright, I'm just going to add some butter to that. Now this is not turned on. My stove is not on. I only set it here so I can work with it, because the wood stove is cooking. So I'm going to throw in a whole mess of butter. I love butter as much as I love cheese. Salt the butter. Now I'm going to mix that up in there. And then I've got to get my pan going with some asparagus. Now the asparagus is not fresh. I'm going to leave that lid on there and let that butter melt. That is hot, hot stuff. We'll get some asparagus going here on the side. Actually, you know what? I'm going to throw my cheese in there too. And I'll throw it back on the wood stove in a few minutes. But I've got to get my asparagus prepared. I'm working on videos at the same time, so I'm a little bit distracted here on the side. Let me pause the camera and show you this. Alright, there's our buttery, cheesy noodles so far. And that'll probably melt in actually pretty well all on its own. And then I'll just pop that back on the wood stove to heat it up in a little bit here. Now I got to get the asparagus going. Now this is canned, so I should clean that lid off with my... I always clean the dust off the rim with a rag or my shirt or whatever's convenient at the time. I don't risk shoving any dirt into my can. So we'll just throw that in there. Now that's not going to take long. So we're almost ready for dinner here. almost done. Put the lid on, we'll put that over on the wood stove. Alright, we're going to put the asparagus on and let that heat up. I'm going to take my water thing off here for now. Alright. Then I got room. When that's just about done, I'll put the noodles back on just to top them off. And we'll have dinner pretty soon here. Oops. Stir up the cheesy noodles. Look at that getting stringy. Look at that, that's getting good. I might not have to put it on the wood stove. It's really hot and it's melting up nicely, so I might not have to. I'm just going to get the asparagus going. I think this is going to be good. Look at that, that's getting stringy. Good stuff. Let me see what I got for herbs, see if I want to throw something else in there. I went with a dash of parsley for color, and a little bit of salt, and I'm going to put the lid on there and check on the asparagus. Well, asparagus is steaming. Alright, let's take this into the kitchen and let's serve it up. Alright, dinner is ready. Got the noodles. Let's serve up some noodles here, cheesy noodles. Sorry, I'm probably blocking the view of the camera. I'm hungry, so I'm going to serve up a nice healthy portion of cheesy noodles here. Alright. Put the lid back on there and keep that hot. Alright, and then we got some asparagus on the side. I need to get that out of there. We don't want all the water in there. Let's get a good healthy portion of asparagus. There we go. Alright. Well, I'm not worried about beauty or presentation, so please do forgive me if it's not perfect. Let's put another little bit of parsley on there for looks. Might as well make it a little presentable, huh? Just a little bit on there for color. Alright. Let's take it on over to the table and see how it is. Well, I'm sitting in the computer. I'm still working for the night, so you can probably see the keyboard here in the background, maybe a bit of the mouse pad. But dinner is served. Let me see here. My cheesy noodles. See how this tastes. Ooh, look at that. Oh, nice. Made on the tiny house wood stove. Off-grid cooking. Perfect. Really nice. I love it. And of course a little bit of vegetables. Balance out your diet. Good stuff. Oh yeah. Off-grid Homestead cooking with Troy. There you go, everybody. Cooked on the wood stove in the tiny house on wheels. It just doesn't get better than this. I love it. Well, I'm going to enjoy. So I'll talk to you guys all later. Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Guten Appetit.